Hi guys, it's Lucy and today I'm here to do my February wrap-up. If you're new to this channel, please be sure to check out the subscribe button down below. Click it if you so choose, and if you're not new to this channel, then welcome back. Hope you enjoy this video. So yeah, as I said before, I'm doing my February wrap-up. As you may or may not know, hopefully you know, last month was Black History Month. It's over now. It's quite sad. It was a pretty good Black History Month for me. I saw Black Panther, which was amazing, so good. 10 times recommend. Go see it if you haven't already. Considering watching it again in theaters, which is a lot for me because I don't watch movies a lot, first of all, and definitely do not watch them twice, especially while they're in theater. So yeah, it was a great movie. Wakanda Forever. My TBR for last month, my goal was to read majority Black authors, which I didn't quite succeed in. I read an even number of Black authors as not Black authors. So I read 3 of each. Of the books that I mentioned on my TBR, I finished 4 of them, and I DNF'd another, which was Unrivaled by Alison Noel. I may or may not go back to that at some point in the future, and I did start 2 of the books that I mentioned in that TBR as well. So yeah, I just didn't finish them. But now we're here to talk about the books that I did finish, and as usual, I talk about the books I read in chronological order. I'll mention if the author is Black, if they were Black. The first book that I finished reading was Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. This was my first Agatha Christie book, and I listened to the audiobook and I gave it 4 stars. This follows the hero Hercule Poirot, who is a very famous detective in like Agatha Christie novels and stuff. This is like the 10th book in the series technically, which just follows him solving mysteries, and this time he's solving the mystery of someone who was murdered on the Orient Express. This was a fun book. I don't have too much to say about it. I enjoyed reading it. I'm glad I finally listened to an Agatha Christie, and I did not see the ending coming, so that is always a good sign in a mystery for me. I think I will be reading another one of her books, and I was going to be, and then there were none, but I was spoiled for it, so I'm not sure anymore, because I feel like half the fun of a mystery is like trying to figure out what's happening, so Next, I finished Bossypants by Tina Fey, which I also listened to on audiobook, and I gave it 3.5 stars. This is Tina Fey's memoir, and it focuses mostly on her time when she wrote for SNL and then became a creator, and created 30 Rock, 2 shows that I don't watch regularly. I did watch SNL when she was on it as Sarah Palin. I did watch some of those episodes, but I've never seen an episode of 30 Rock, so yeah, but this was a fun read. It was fine, and I did chuckle a couple of times, which is really all I'm looking for in a celebrity memoir, especially when I don't know the celebrity that well. Next, we have my favorite book of the month, which was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I gave this book 5 stars. It was my favorite book of the month, favorite book of the year so far, maybe. One of my favorites, definitely, but it's definitely a really, really good book, and I'm gonna tell you about it first. So this is the first book in Maya Angelou's series of memoirs / autobiographies. I did not even know that she did that. I feel like Maya Angelou is kind of like a household name in the sense that, you know, she's like a famous author, and you know this book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but you don't really know everything she does, or maybe that was just me and I'm just ignorant. I mean, I am, but now my eyes have opened, I've seen the light, I read this book. But yeah, this is the first in her series of memoirs, and it follows her from childhood, from the age of 4, where she's living with her grandmother in segregated Arkansas until the age of 16, when something happens that I feel like is a spoiler because it really caught me off guard, but it's her life, so it can't be a spoiler. So I don't know, I'm just not gonna mention it, but it really caught me off guard, the ending of this book. This book was just so good. I don't know, I feel like I don't have words. I'm just so glad that I finally read it. Her writing is amazing and magical, and yeah, I mean, you don't need me to tell you that, but you're here on this video, so I'm gonna tell you that, you know? She told her story so honestly, and it was truly heartbreaking at times, but I appreciated how honest she was about everything, and I think the way she wrote it out was just, I don't know, so well done. It was just it brought me to another world. I was in Arkansas, and it also managed to be uplifting at times as well, even though a lot of the things that happened to her and she dealt with were not uplifting at all. But yeah, it just brought so many emotions to me about her. I can't believe she went through what she did, Honestly, it was like the perfect book to read for Black History Month. It deals with her being a black girl at the time. She was a girl in a southern segregated town, and like how she perceived white people as well as how she thought they perceived her. It's just like really fascinating. She was clearly a smart woman. We know this, but I just have to let you know that I now know. And yeah, it was one of my favorite books of all time now, and my favorite book of the month by far. If I look different, which I definitely do, my hair is different, my lipstick is different, everything is different. Actually, my shirt is the same. But yeah, I got interrupted while I was filming the first half of this video, but I filmed the first half so well, so I'm not gonna like refilm the whole video. So let's just continue on. The next book that I read is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is set in kind of a fantasy world where basically there's this evil wood that exists that corrupts people. You're not supposed to go in, or else like you won't come out, or if you do, you're like completely corrupted. You want to like kill people, like hurt people, hurt yourself. This wood has existed for as long as anyone can remember. In the town that's right next to the wood, there is a wizard called the dragon who is there to keep the wood at bay, and in return the dragon asks for one girl every 10 years to help him around the house and whatever. No one really knows what happens with the girls. All they know is that after their time is up, they always come back to the town and then want to leave immediately and go off to like the big city or something, and they're well educated. So we follow a girl named Agnieszka, who everyone thinks her best friend is going to be the next girl chosen by the dragon, and obviously since we're not following her best friend, that's not what happens. And so yeah, Agnieszka gets chosen and we follow the story from there. I gave this book 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. I just didn't love it as much as everyone else did. This book has been a long time coming. It's been on many TBRs, so I'm glad I finally read it at least. I enjoyed reading it, and I enjoyed Agnieszka as a character, even though I can't really pronounce her name. The plot, for the most part, did keep me engaged, except for there was a portion in the middle where there's like traveling and we go somewhere else that I wasn't a huge fan of because it's just not a lot was going on there. The magic system in here is not the most explained, so if that's something that you need in a book, I would not recommend it. It has more of a whimsical fairy tale feel, the magic system specifically. The thing that like really brought it down for me and kept it from giving it 4 stars is the romance. I thought it was unnecessary and weird. I did not like it at all. And I cringed every time any romantic element came up. And the second to last book I read was Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. This is about a girl named Jade who is a black girl who comes from a poorer neighborhood, and she goes to a richer private school on scholarship, and it's about her kind of living like that, you know, and she ends up being recommended for a mentorship program that is for at-risk girls. And Jade doesn't like that. She doesn't think she needs something like that, and it kind of explores that and how she deals with being a teenager growing up in this specific situation. I really enjoyed reading this. Although Jade and I are from different backgrounds, I did go to majority white schools. I go to one right now. I did relate to like some specific parts of her growing up, specifically with how she deals with having non-black friends. I also really like the incorporation of her artwork. If you can look at the cover, like this is actually collage, which is a big part of Jade's life and what Jade does. She's really into art and making collages, and that's a big part of the story, which I really enjoyed. I just really like when main characters have, you know, hobbies that are like relatable. I don't make collages and stuff, but I do dance, and that was like a big part of my life in high school. So yeah, I just really appreciate when they have like fun hobbies. I don't know. I think this would be a great read for someone like me during their teenage years, and would also be a good choice for someone who wants to put their feet into someone else's shoes. Also, there's no romance in this book at all, which I think as a plus, because I feel like it's so hard to find contemporary YA books with no romance. There's always like a little bit, but there's nothing in here, and it's really refreshing and great. And the last book that I read in the month of February was The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I gave this 4 stars, and I did a full review of it, which is on my channel. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, you can check that out. I go through a synopsis and like what I thought. There's also a little bit of an audiobook review in there because I did listen to the audiobook. It is not completely spoiler free, but I do let you know when I start talking about the spoilers, so you can feel free to just watch the beginning and then stop watching when I get to the more spoilery parts. And yeah, so those are all the books that I read in February. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of the books that I did mention, please be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!